All right, we're gonna have to record this again. And so we're gonna make this thing right here. Um, and so I put my face on here. All right. So I'm just gonna turn those layers off for right now. So what we have to do is we have to open up two pictures. And so I want you to open up a picture. You can do it of, I did it of K-pop just to be silly. And just to review, what I did is I went to Google Images and I typed K-pop and make sure that you go on images, tools, and then you hit large. And then this is not the high quality one. I would have to click here and then this would be the high quality image. This is still just a thumbnail. Um, Kids make that mistake all the time. So whatever, pick some funny, silly thing. All right. And I'm going to put my image on there. And so then what we're going to do is we right click, save images, and then do the same thing with my picture. Or, you know what, one of your family members or something silly, or get your dog or whatever you feel like. And then what we're going to do is we go to Photoshop and we're going to go to File, Open, navigate to the picture that you've just downloaded and the one you've got off the internet. So then I've got these two tabs when I hit File, Open. All right. So what I want to do is I want to select my face. To deselect it right now, I'm going to hit Control D. And then I'm going to go to my magnetic lasso. You know what, before I do that, I want to show you guys what happens. Let's say I wanted to get rid of something real quick and there was a nice uniform thing back here, uniform color. If I go like this, that was selected. And if I press and hold Shift, it will also increase that selection. I'm going to hit Control D for deselect. And if I change that number to, let's say 70, now it's going to get more stuff that's a similar color. Okay, you can see that that's a bigger one. Press and hold Shift. Now that's too much. So I'm just going to hit Control Z for step back. And if I wanted to get rid of that, I would have to make sure that this was not locked and press delete. And that would be an easy way to get rid of something. Let's say you were at a green screen or you had a white background. So I'm just going to undo that and hit Control D for deselect. And now what I'm going to do is we're going to use the magnetic lasso. Let's make it a little bit easier by zooming in, hitting Control plus on the keyboard. And now I'm just going to go around. You know what? I'm not happy with that. So I'm going to hit Escape and start again. And so now when I go to a place where I know there's going to be a bit of a turn, I actually click. And you can see on there where I click. Otherwise, I'm just dragging my mouse around. And let's say you've got hair and it doesn't work out that well. That's okay. Mr. Regger's not going to care. So let's go down. And I'm almost done there. And it has not made a selection. So I have to press Enter. And then it'll say, okay, I'm going to go back to where I started. All right, so that's a good selection. And if you make a mistake, just hit Escape and try it again. And now we're going to go to Edit, Copy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit Control V because I've copied it. And then there's my face. So then what I want to do is that's way too big. So we hit Control T for the free transform. I'm going to go over that again. So I select the layer that I want to change the size of, and I hit Control T. Now I can distort this face. I don't want to do that yet. So I'm just going to not accept that edit, and I'm going to hit Control T. And now if I press and hold the Shift button, when I go like this, bring it up and down, it changes it uniformly. So I'm going to drag it in the middle, drag it down. All right, so now we're going to go over here. I'm going to hit Control plus to zoom in a bit. Get this over here so I can center it a bit. Control plus again. A little trick, we're not going to get into this too much, but if I change that opacity on that particular layer, then I can see right through, and then I can judge pretty good. Now I'm going to distort this here just to make it look somewhat similar. All right, and now I'm going to change my opacity on this particular layer back up to 100%. I'm happy with that, so I'm going to hit the check mark to accept that edit. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control C, Control V, and that copies layer 6 here. And now I'm going to get this. You know what? Why don't I just hit Control T? Control T to free transform and go like this. Now he's on a bit of an angle. So then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to I drag it over, and then if I just go on the corners there, I can do something like that. Actually, I could actually flip the whole thing by going like this. So let's do that. It looks a little bit silly. The neck doesn't line up, but whatever. Once again, Control C, Control V. Go down here. Okay, Control T for free transform. Let's rotate it a bit. Bring it down. All right. And let's see what other ones I've done previously. So I'm not going to turn on that one or that one. All right. And so let's Control minus here. Okay. Got the regular K-pop band there. All right. So then what I want you to do is I can't see that Photoshop file. I don't want to have to download it and open up in Photoshop every time. I just want to see it in D2L. So File, Save As. And we want to do a Photoshop PDF, okay, or a TIFF file. I don't want these two files, otherwise I'll have to download it and open it up in Photoshop. So let's go Photoshop, save, and I've already saved it once. I'm just going to say yes, okay, and then save PDF. Lots of warnings there. And then that's the file that I want you to hand into me. I wouldn't mind seeing the before and after. So if you could put the first picture and then the second picture, and just play around with it, have fun. And if you get any questions, let me know.